Hi guys, welcome to another episode of TokeMoments. My name is TokeMoments. This is my YouTube channel and you are most welcome. Where are you? At home? Maybe watching at work, maybe watching anywhere you are in the world. I absolutely love every Wednesdays because we get to connect. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I think it's about time we talked about. Ginny Mai from The Real. Guys, last week or last 2 weeks, I have lost count of what the times are like. Blame it on 2020. It's the pandemic. Sometimes I try to remember certain things and sometimes I don't. I'm just like, you know what? This year is just on its own. Ginny Mai is getting married to Jeezy, and I've always loved their relationship. And recently she came on her show and talked about submission, and she had to define what she meant by wanting to submit to her husband.
But what I really learned in my life for my definition of marriage, I'm not saying what I want works for everybody. I'm saying for me, I'm a very dominant woman. I own my business. I lead my teams. I played my own manager, my own publicist, my own lawyer when I didn't have money to have those people. So I make the decisions in my life. When I come home, I like the idea that my man leads us. That doesn't mean that in this case, Jay makes all the decisions for us.
Now I thought to myself, is this really where we've gotten to in life, where people have to always explain what they mean by certain things? First, to start with, if Ginny Mai decides to submit to her husband or doesn't decide to submit to her husband, it's her marriage, yeah? She's the one who's married to the man. I'm not married to the man. It's no skin off my nose. I don't care what you decide. If you want to serve on your feet, serve on your floor, roll on the ground, lick the floor that he walks on, guess what? It's your marriage and you have every right to run your marriage however you want to run it. Also, what is good for you doesn't necessarily have to be what is acceptable, what is popular, or what is in trends. Just as long as you have the balls to stick with it, that's what makes you you. Why do you always have to explain what you meant? Like, I thought for myself, whatever people had to say. Hello, yes, people will rant in the comments, feminists are not going to be happy about this. Why are you guys always quick to drag feminists into everything? Like, why? I'm a proud feminist, and I think over the years a lot of lines have been blurred where people always blame feminists for every single thing. It's almost like you breathe, feminists will not be angry. You have an opinion, feminists will be angry. You say this, feminists will not going to accept, and she calls herself a feminist. Shut up, shut up, shut your stinking beak, okay? Everything is not all about feminism. Feminism is a fight for equality, right? And I know how the term submission can have a negative impact. I'm not even gonna lie. When you hear submission, what people automatically think is a soldier, a military man, and a civilian, and someone who is a sort of tyrant and who is practicing tyranny, and everyone doesn't have a choice but to go as to what the person says. I get it. Over the years, when you hear the term submission, people have piggybacked on that term to mean basically control someone, or basically they look at you as weak when they say your husband determines what she wears or determines how she wears her hair, or he chooses when she goes out or not. And I think it's much deeper than that. If only we can just keep our minds open and understand that submission in itself is not a bad thing. I definitely agree with it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a feminist, but that means that I would not submit to my husband, because submitting to my husband, I don't have one, by the way, so I like the way I just say husband. I don't have one, but submitting to my husband doesn't make me lesser than he is. Submitting to my husband doesn't mean that he is in a place of authority per se. It means that he understands that I'm an individual and I do have a mind of my own, and we can agree to disagree as long as we meet on a... Mosh is shaking his head. That's not what it means to you, Abby. No, but seriously, guys, let's be serious. Let's talk about this. When you see a plane, for instance, you know, it takes a captain and a first officer to fly the plane. Now, the first officer is actually who flies the plane. The captain is there to sort of oversee, yeah? But the first officer is actually the one who takes off and who lands. Pilots in the house, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when I asked the pilot friend, he kind of explained it like that, because I did ask why you have too many people in, on the plane, and he did explain that. That's how I see it. Honestly, that's how I see this thing called submission. I feel like they say the man is the head. Okay, biblically, that is correct. The woman is supposed to be the neck. Now, you cannot turn the head without the neck, can you? So they have to work together. Okay, and that's where equality comes in, and that's where you can say we're fighting for equality, i.e., if you are thinking about something in a marriage, you're not married to yourself, you're married to someone who has a mind, who is grown, who is an adult. You guys have to talk about it. Talking about it is what lands you guys to a resolution, and if you guys can resolute together, you fly that plane, captain, first officer, no one cares who actually flew the plane landed. That's how we should actually think about it. We don't always have to go into this war, exchanging of who is right and who is wrong, trying to prove ourselves. Like, as a feminist, I can't do this. I quite agree with Jenny, because I'm also a dominant female. I mean, I run all my businesses, I lead my team myself. In every other part of my life, I'm like the boss. When I come home at night, I'm not trying to drag. It's okay. You can be the boss, boo. You can decide what we have for dinner. You can decide, the remote control was broken, you decide to fix it. Do you? I actually quite look forward to that sort of arrangement. I actually enjoy, if I'm dating someone, I also ask for their inputs in everything. Say, for instance, I'm thinking about the next color of bags to launch. I would like to be with a man that I can be like, babe, I want to do 2. And he can be like, no, babe, I think you could do 5. And I'm like, but I'm not really ready for 5. And he can be like, no, but you can do it this way. Resolution, eventually. All right, you only have money for 2. I'll give you money for 3. We do 5. That's submission. Capiche? This is not submission of our parents' days, or that famous actor that came last year that was like, oh, people tend to think, why are you going to date that kind of girl when she's bossy, or she's a boss, or she has her own job? She would have problems submitting. What does that even mean? I really feel like when a woman is loved right, you don't even need to call it submission. It's literally like 2 people who are doing life together and enjoying how they're doing life. Okay, you want us to go to Monaco this year, but I don't really like Monaco, babe. I think we should go to maybe Paris, for instance. And you're like, come with your valid points why Monaco should win. And I can be like, this is why Paris should win. Okay, let's do both. That is submission. Capiche? Or maybe we should just be like, okay, babe, we can do Monaco now. Tomorrow we'll do Paris. It's okay. Like, I feel like half the time we keep fighting over things that do not even necessarily make sense. I didn't like the fact that Jenny Mai had to now defend what she meant by submission. If it's not for you, it's not your cup of tea, move on. If it's for you, take it. If you feel like they're parts of it, and then you can also remodel your life. Feminists, the fight towards a better world, and where feminists come in, is literally fighting for equal pay, literally fighting for equal opportunity, literally fighting to leave the stone age of this person is supposed to be a doormat, and being submissive doesn't make you a doormat. Men actually quite respect women who are intelligent, and if you're with a good man, he wouldn't just take decisions by himself. If a man starts to take decisions by himself without adding you or considering you, then he doesn't see you as an equal. He sees you as a doormat. Then that way he can just think, what should bring into my life? Nothing. I can as well do this by myself. But if you're in a balanced relationship, I really think that no crazy person will literally just come and say, today we're eating eba because I said so, because I'm the man of the house. Today we want spaghetti because I'm the man. I'm the man. If you have to constantly say you're the man, then there's something wrong with your ego. Check that at the door. If you have to constantly force down authority on someone, then maybe there's something wrong with how you guys communicate. It's okay to be like, oh babe, I feel like having spaghetti today. Oh, but I made this. Okay, I'm going to eat this today, but can you make me spaghetti tomorrow? Capiche? Peace. Like, our generation has so many things to worry about. Please don't add submission to one of them. And then with times, we should also try to evolve. I get it. Over the years, this whole submission thing has been seen as a negative thing, where you think, oh, you can't marry that girl. She'll be hard to talk to. She's not going to be submissive. That, for me, are those kind of people to avoid, because you're not looking for submission. You're looking forward to being a dictator. And nobody wants tyranny. Nobody wants to subscribe to that BS. Because even with kids these days, raising kids, they have a voice. You have to communicate with them. You know, you have to find a middle ground. And as long as we're all human beings, why can't we be open to finding a middle ground? Why must you have someone have to explain how they want to run their marriage? I think that's total BS. Like, honestly, I don't even know why she had to do that video. If she says she wants a marriage where she's going to be submissive and everybody was upset, be upset. I beg, it's a marriage. Do you understand? If it doesn't work for you, and guess what? Half of those that are out there saying this, that, in their homes, they are even worse. It's not submission, they call it. Oh. This one is daddy wa, ekule, daddy wa. Before they breathe, daddy got away. Nah, man. That's all I'm going to talk about today. I really think that people need to sort of just pick things that apply to their lives and leave the rest if they don't apply to you. But stop making people have to explain their own decisions. She's a grown-ass woman. If she wants to literally lick the floor the man walks on, by all means, let her. That's her marriage. We're not going to be married to the guy. We ain't sleeping with him. I'm not taking his last name. There's no skin off my nose. They're even all the way in America. I'm right here in Africa. What's my business with how you want to run your marriage? But for the sakes of those people who are like, oh, you guys say you're feminist only when it suits you. I think that you guys always drag feminism into things that it has nothing to do with. Honestly, I honestly think people do that a lot. And I'm a feminist. And I am still going to be submissive because I don't see submission as a negative thing. I actually see it as, it's interesting. I've been doing this by myself for a long time. And if someone comes along who can be like, babe, why don't you try it this way? Or, you know, let me help you lift this load. Or, you know, why don't you relax? Let that not be work when you come home. I respect that because out there, I'm a beast. I'm working all the time and it's doing it for my own good. So if I'm with a man that says, once you step into this home, I would turn off my laptop, you would turn off your laptop, there is no work in this zone. I don't think that's controlling. I think that's actually trying to create a healthy balance in the home. Not everything has to be this tussle of, oh, I'm the dictator, I'm the man. You know, I give up. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, guys. We've been doing this for so long. You guys have been a part of this, and I'm sure you've learned one or two things from all of my videos. Until I come your way again, goodbye.